evening. Welcome to our Tuesday, July 23rd, 2013 City Commission meeting. We will have the invocation by Commissioner Ward and our place to the flag by Commissioner McLemore. Please rise.
Father, we are here today to ask for your blessing and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll put our names back up.
Oh, glad my name wasn't up.
Oh, you mean our names weren't right? Oh, good. Never hurts to be incognito. All right, our first
Madam
order.
Chair, before we move
Right.
forward, may I move to amend the agenda? Thank you. Consider, agenda amendment. Consider approval to amend the agenda by adding item number 8, and I quote, "Consider an amendment to July 9th approval to make North Searcy Avenue one-way from East Solomon Street to Broadway by amending the one-way designation per the attached drawing," unquote.
All right, do I have a second? All right, we have a motion and a second to amend the agenda. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. All righty, our first item of business tonight is to recognize BB&T Bank and Robin and Patricia Purvis for the Gorgeous Griffins Commercial and Residential Beautification Award recipients for the month of May. Director of Planning and Development Services, Taurus Freeman, will make the award.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. Taurus Freeman. We've received a lot of rain these past couple of days, and while staff was riding around actually trying to find a beautiful nominee, many stood out. I was quite surprised of how many residents have actually maintained their yards of this difficult time. And one, as I was driving down Maple Street, it kind of caught the corner of my eye. I was kind of blown away with all the festive colors over there. And so I stopped and got a better look. And it was an immaculate house. Unfortunately, it's for sale, but they definitely had a lot of decor in the yard. And it was right then I knew that we probably had a possibility of having our winner. So at this time, I just would like to congratulate Robin and Patricia Purvis for the Gorgeous Griffin Award for July.
Okay, very good. Are they present?
And I guess they're not here. When I spoke to them, they were coming to the meeting, so we just give it to them at a later time.
Okay.
And our next one is BB&T Bank, located at 201 West Taylor Street. As you see in your packets, they have an excellent landscape. It was very difficult to actually catch the true essence of that, dealing with all the traffic, and I wasn't going to put myself in harm's way. But I was able to capture something, and if you drive by there, you'll know what I'm talking about. I spoke with the bank manager tonight. She was having some difficulties, and I don't think she was able to make it. But on behalf of BB&T, I'll definitely give this award to them as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we are in the citizen comment portion. We'll open the floor for comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Having said that, is there anyone on my right? Please come forward and state your name and address.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is Roy McLean. I live at 1059 Manley Road, Griffin, Georgia. I appreciate the time this evening. Would like to speak to the possible modification of your plan for North Searcy Avenue. I've provided photographs and diagrams. I think this would be a win-win for not only the city, but for all the businesses along there, and I hope you would give it consideration to making that modification. Any questions?
I don't think so. I
Thank
think
you
we've
so
studied
much.
it, and thank you for your attention to this matter. Is there anyone else on my left who would like to come forward and make a citizen comment? You can't. Is there anyone on my left who would like to come forward and make a citizen comment? All right. Is there anyone on my right who would like to come forward and make a citizen comment? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go on to our public hearings. Public hearings are conducted to allow public comment on specific advertised issues such as rezoning ordinances, policy development, operating budgets, and other legislative actions to be considered by the City Commission. At this time, we will receive comments regarding a resolution declaring the undeveloped right-of-way of Gum Street to be of no public use or service, declaring said public way to be abandoned, and authorizing the delivery of a quitclaim deed to the owner of the abutting property on either side. Our planning and zoning developer, Taurus Freeman, will address.
Yes, ma'am. This case actually came before you all in 2007. At that time, you all rendered no decision on it. Staff has received documentation from one of the property owners who requested the abandonment of this road once again for your consideration. The property is Gum Street. It is located, it intersects with South 6th Street. And what it is it's a unpaved road. The only way you will actually be able to acknowledge its existence is there is a sign located on the intersection. The road has never been developed. There are several lots that adjoins this roadway that has never been paved by the city nor the developer. The property was originally subdivided in the 1960s, and it has changed property hands several different times. If this road is abandoned, the roadway will actually be divided up with the adjoining properties owners, and the development and one of the property owners have intentions of consolidating the lots and for possible resale.
The zoning on this is PCD, if I understand correctly.
That is correct, sir.
And the applicant is asking to develop this as a commercial development for medical purposes. Is that the understanding?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. This is a public hearing, and at this time, we'll open the floor to people who might have comments or would like to make a suggestion. Please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, I'm the owner of Griffin Auto Clinic on 741 South 8th Street. I own property on Gum Street. If they abandon that road, that land that I own on Gum Street, plus behind it I own land, will be landlocked. My area is fenced in to keep the thieves out, and then that part is, like I say, I was on Gum Street, and my business is on South 8th Street. It butts my property.
Right. Sir, did you give us your name and address?
I'm sorry, I can't
Did you
hear
give us your name and address
741 Griffin Auto Clinic, 741 South 8th Street.
and your name?
James McLeod, owner.
James McLeod, owner. Okay, thank you.
May I ask you a question, Mr. McLeod?
Sure.
I remember this when it came up in '07,
Right.
and I voted with you at that time pending some questions and outcomes that were unknown.
Uh-huh.
Part of the discussion was that this land is not really landlocked. It connects through other lots out to, is it 9th Street or another?
That's what my business is setting on.
Yeah, so it's not technically landlocked. The land goes on through to this lot.
Yeah, but the only thing is, if I want to sell those lots down there, there's no way of getting to them without people going through my business, and which I have fenced in an alarm system in it to keep the thieves out.
Well, I understand that, but you made a comment, there was a discussion at the time, if I remember correctly, there were a few graves down in there that complicated the problem, and the suggestion was
They're on,
about,
like, if
Moving-
you were standing in front of the lot on Gum Street, they'd be to the right of it.
that's correct. So they don't really block your access back into that property. That's not an issue. It was brought up last time, I believe, but there was a suggestion made that you need to hire our anthropologist, I believe, to check it out if there was a question. Did any of that get done?
I wasn't told anything about that.
So, again, I honestly, I understand coming through your property, your lot, but it's not technically landlocked.
The way I look at it, it would be, because like, say, my area is all fenced in.
Yeah, but a fence can be removed, it's your fence, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't want anybody coming through your front yard going to the back lot, would you?
Sir, you're the common owner of all that property. I mean, it's under one
Mhm.
title, so it's,
Right.
I know you erect a fence that doesn't separate ownership, so it's technically not a landlocked.
I can hardly hear you, sir.
It's
I know,
technically,
Judy, can we get cut up? Thank you.
Well,
I
I think
can't
what he's
hear
saying
you.
is, all of that property is under one plat.
One, right.
It's not deeded separately in different plats, it's all one piece of property.
Mm-hmm.
So to say part of the property is landlocked when it's all deeded under one common deed is disingenuous. in my
Yeah, but I could sell those lots if I ever, decided to.
They're not lots, they're all part of the same lot. They're not separate lots by deed. They're all under one lot.
Under one deed, right. But if you look at the land lot, which I've got with me, the plot,
I understand, but land lot doesn't mean anything except to the tax people. They're all under one deeded lot and one contiguous piece.
yeah.
They're one parcel.
Actually, if there's a parcel behind that I own too.
I'm trying to understand, you say if you sell it, that might be a problem for you. I'm trying to understand that part of it.
I can hardly hear you, sir. I'm hard to hear.
If you saying if you sell it, that it might be a problem getting to your land.
There would be. Mhm.
Okay.
Like I said, there's no legal way. It'd be like putting a road right through the middle of your yard into, going into the back for somebody else to get there.
Okay.
He's talking about if he
I'm not quite sure where it is.
If he subdivided per one parcel into multiple parcels, then you'd have to go through the south
Now,
Ninth Street.
No, it's-
That's right, this would be a different argument if it was separate parcels back there, but it's all deeded in one parcel and it has not been subdivided, so
Not as of yet, no.
Huh? No, I think it's in
The
yours.
reason all this came up again, can y'all hear me? I don't know.
We can hear you now. It's,
The reason all this came up again is our code enforcement task force has been on South Ninth Street, and there's some deteriorated properties right there at South Ninth and Gum Street. So if we make the owner tear those properties down, he has got lots there that are like 1/10 of an acre that he can't do anything with. So that's what brought all this back up again, is if we make him take those houses down, demo those houses, he's stuck with lots that are too small to rebuild anything back on.
well, my problem with this is, and I agree with you last time pending some resolution, but in the 5 years or so it's been, you've never made any arrangements to acquire any property or find another way back there. You've never separated the property and deeded it into other lots, so it still remains one continuous lot. After all these years, there's been nothing done to change the situation.
I didn't think there had to be as long as Gum Street was there.
and I don't know.
Meanwhile, the other property owner has been tied up and can't develop a property, and the city owns a piece of property with trees on it and no street, and it's not on the tax rolls, so everything has been tied up for all these years, and yet, like I say, you haven't subdivided or done anything to ameliorate this situation.
I know he'd come approach me about buying my area, but he'd never come up with the money. That would have ended the whole problem. I know who you're talking about,
But the basic issue is you're saying that this would impede your ability to get to your property. Would this have a monetary effect on your property? If-
On 8th Street, it wouldn't, no. But like I said, if I ever wanted to divide that lot, and because at one time, I did have the Sprint people, they were talking about using that lot back there and leasing it off me. And then, of course, we had to have Gum Street opened up, and then they could come in through that property where I've got, and then go into their tower in the back.
But if not, they would have to come through your property, right?
Right. And which it's all fenced in and you know, with an alarm system on it at night. The property on Gum Street is not fenced in.
Well, we've gone nowhere in all these years, and everything's been blocked. Like I said, I voted with you last time, but this time I'm on the other side. As time's passed, nothing has changed, and everything's been blocked, including the city having development there. We have no plans to build a street there. The lots are zoned, that area's zoned commercial, so we're just stuck. Had you have deeded this separately and subdivided it, I think you'd have some credibility, but it's still just all one lot that you build on the front of.
Mm-hmm.
I might add, this may not be a very good question, I don't know, but would one property owner have more rights than the other property owner?
Well, it's not necessarily who has a right to what, but legally, you can't landlock a lot. A lot has to have road frontage.
Right? So are you saying that he doesn't have road?
His lot does have road frontage, so
From
he's
8th
not
Street.
landlocked, so.
We're not blocking
that
him in any way.
That alleviates that legal impediment of landlocking his lot, because he won't be landlocked.
So do you understand that, sir? So what would be the
The only
problem?
thing excuse me, the only thing I don't understand is it's, one part of that lot is still on another street, though.
But it's all
It's not
under
land.
common ownership.
It's on
all
Gum Street.
contiguous, so it's technically one parcel of land. There was a merger, even if you bought it in separate parcels, once it came under common ownership, those parcels all merged into one, and that's the way it's shown. If you look in your agenda packet, there is a copy of the tax map in there, Spalding County tax map, and you can see it's got a number 741 on it. That's his parcel. And, you know, you put fences up anywhere. But theoretically, he's got public access on 8th Street. He can drive all the way through to the back of the property, which is the northernmost part up there.
So this doesn't landlock him anyway. He's not landlocked now, and it wouldn't landlock him.
So there's no legal impediment to doing it, it's just
Right.
whether or not you wanna give up the Gum Street roadway to the adjoining property owners, and this gentleman would get a portion of Gum Street, which affects his property as well.
We will convey from the center line of the right-of-way. Of course, none of this is improved, it's just an unimproved right-of-way. We would convey from the center line of the right-of-way to the north portion, parallel with the lot he currently owns now. It's that corner lot, the last lot on Gum Street on the north side. And that would be conveyed to Mr. McLeod. Everything else that abuts Gum Street would be conveyed to Mr. Dunson.
So if we did that, and say a doctor or somebody came in and bought that land, how would they get to it?
They'd have to come in off of 8th Street.
Is that possible?
I can't hear people, so I can't really say.
He's saying the land that you got, if you sold it, some of it, they could come into that land off of 8th Street.
Not if I sold that piece on Gum Street, no, they couldn't. They'd have to come through my property. Like I said,
Are there, Drew, who has a lot
This is
below
his property.
804?
Where is he said?
I'm not sure.
But it's
Well,
someone
what-
different. It's someone different, the lot below
This is
804.
8th Street.
I think Taurus and I looked at it the day we were looking at the Spalding County website, and I believe some other doctor owns that lot at this time.
All right,
He says, what if he's
is there a
something?
structure on 741 at all?
That's it, you for
Yeah,
years.
my
Yes,
business.
On the 8th Street side, he has
There
an
is a
automobile
structure within
repair
that.
This is all locked.
facility.
He's locked everybody out here. No, this street is no street. So you can't get that, it's too small. If this was a separate lot, he'd have some argument. This is a whole piece of property, we're not blocking.
Are we maintaining the street at all?
No.
It's trees.
Well, I know it's a dirt road, but I mean, you know, the thing says that they want to,
It's not even a
Yeah.
dirt road, it's just forest, it's trees.
yeah. Well, the only word I have in here is apparently it's being used, because it's not being abandoned.
It was originally,
It's not even used.
it
It's
was
never been-
originally conveyed
Do
by
you-
deed to the county before this was ever annexed into the city.
Yeah,
So when the land came in under the annexation law, it became a city street.
yeah.
But it's never been an improved street. The city's never cleared the street, never paved the street, or anything else.
And there's nothing on it but trees.
And no, I don't think there are any utilities even running up through there. To the best of my
Drive by
knowledge,
there,
they're
just
not.
all woods and bushes.
Well, why would it be of use to anyone?
So is it not a readily, so is it not a functional
No,
pathway?
he couldn't drive back there today.
You couldn't even walk back there right now. It's just-
So basically, we got in 741, if you look at everything to the right of 731, you got a structure on there already. So 741 from Gum Street, if you cross all the way up to 8th Street, it's used. I mean, that's basically part of that, the building that's there. So what you're talking about is potentially sellable or developable is what's on the left side, or on the, above Gum Street, and that's where which is kind of landlocked to a degree now, and we're talking about that potentially could have been a tower or something that you got approached
Right.
about.
I don't know what you've got there for paper, but there's a lot that I own on Gum Street.
Yeah.
And then behind that lot, I own there, and then down behind his property too.
Okay, so he has the last lot that's
Yes.
in that series of
Right.
lots.
But see, today, there's nothing there, you can't get to it anyway, because there's no street, and as far as I know, we have no plans to put a street through there. So, nothing changes.
Except that we give someone a quit claim deed, we give them city property through a
Yeah.
quit claim deed.
Yeah, and they can develop it, put some offices or something, make some use of it.
Wait, repeat that, the last, what we just say?
I just said that we would be giving somebody, quit claim deed would be giving them public land, and then they could develop it if they wanted to.
We've got nothing there and no way to develop it, and we've never developed the street. Typically, with unused property, you just quit claim it back to the adjacent property holders, and then they can develop it and make something of it.
And they can put in the street,
No,
then they would expect the city to put in the street?
no, they're just gonna have an entrance.
Well, now, we got a guarantee from this person that he's gonna put this there, or did he, just his word that say he's saying he's gonna put
I
something?
have no
Well, he's
idea.
gonna put it up for sale into one lot. I don't think he can guarantee that.
All right, he
They'll
owns,
hire
he owns,
What happens
he
if
owns
you-
those two lots. And if we give a quit claim deed to Gum Street, that's what we're gonna be giving him. I've got it all here. Here's the two lots he has,
He owns them all,
On both sides.
on both sides. And
under
you
one
can't develop
parcel.
them because you can't get to them, there's no street.
Right,
So if we quit claim this, it becomes one piece of property you can put medical or some business on. And Mr. Cloud would get half because he joins, he'd get this half right here. So he'd have a little more property on his. The rest of this,
Are there any, some kind of structures on the property?
Yeah, there are a couple old places they want to tear down. I believe, did the owner say he's gonna tear down those little houses if we do this? We get rid of those two old houses?
did he, Taurus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have, I didn't see your lips moving, so I needed a verbal. Is this the pleasure of the city?
This is a public hearing.
Yes, it is a public hearing. Yeah, we're still discussing.
I think Taurus and the city have recommended approval.
Okay,
They-
all right.
No, they did, they on that.
All right, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward and make a comment? Thank you, sir. Okay, if not, then we will go into our consent agenda. Our consent agenda consists of approval of our minutes of our last meeting, and to, I guess we need to take these separately.
Do we have more than one?
Well, we do. We've got consider on second and final reading an ordinance amending the code about golf carts. Would you like to take both of them at one time? Would the board like to?
Yes, ma'am, I would. I would move that we approve both items 3 and 4 on the consent agenda as presented.
Right, okay, Ryan wasn't here on 3. He was cruising the Mediterranean, I think.
Oh, so you were here on 4?
I was not here on the 9th.
He was
So
not
you
here.
weren't here on either one?
No.
Right.
Okay.
All righty, we can still do it. All righty, we have a motion to include, to approve both items 3 and 4 in one motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it's 501. Not here. Okay. We're now into our regular agenda. Item number 5, consider approval of a resolution declaring the undeveloped right to be abandoned and authorizing the delivery of a quitclaim deed to the owner of the abutting property on either side. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move we approve this with comment.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All right.
I've talked to Mr. Freeman and others. This land is unable to be developed. The street is trees and brush that we have no interest in developing or need. I think this is a big win for the city, and I understand Mr. McLeod, what he said, but that all of his property is under one deed. We don't landlock him in any way. He has the right to come out to the street on it, so I think we need to move this along and get some business down there.
All right, any other comments? All right, okay, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? Okay, that is 4 and 2. Thank you. Item number 6, consider lease between the City of Griffin and Steve Morris and David R. Jewell for parking lot located at 128 West Solomon Street for $1 per year. City Manager Kenny Smith will address. All righty, do you want to say anything before we have a motion?
Unless there are some questions, this is just another area that we're trying to beautify and improve downtown parking, and we have some photographs of what this parking lot appears.
Right.
How it appears now, and, for a lease of $1 a year, we'll go in and make some improvements as outlined in the lease.
Madam Chair, I move we approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you. Item number 7, consider amending the City of Griffin Financial Management Program policy governing the city's investment practices and strategies.
Madam Chair, as per our discussion this morning to bring this into compliance with the charter, I move we approve this policy.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, it is unanimous. Item number 9, consider an amendment to July 9th approval to make North Searcy Avenue one-way from East Solomon Street to Broadway by amending the one-way designation per the attached drawing.
Madam Chair, I move we approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? Okay, it is 4 and 2. Thank you. All right, that concludes our business. City Manager, do you have a report?
Sixth Street Bridge is running a little bit ahead of schedule, so we shouldn't have any problem, barring any unforeseen emergency, by having Sixth Street open by the time school opens. So we're on track. Maple Drive, Sixth Street Extension Road. And I sent you a new SPLOST timeline
Drew, do we have a report from you?
Not tonight.
Oh, great, wonderful. Shahir, what about you?
Not tonight.
You don't have anything tonight?
No.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Morrow?
No.
All right,
Yeah, I wanna know how much sleep bill's running on right now. Did you get any, or? I think the guys out there, y'all may have seen some of those pictures that they put on Facebook and Twitter, but the tree came down on College, took out all of College and Brooks, and I think they got it up about 1 o'clock, and had a whole crew out there. I know they were working hard, and everybody was watching them work hard, so,
were you standing out there watching as well?
I had to supervise. Yeah, I had to supervise. No, I went out there, and Bill was doing a great job of, as people came up, just explaining the situation and trying to alleviate some of the crowd's concerns and everything. So I very much appreciate it.
Was it one of our really pretty trees?
Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty. So,
Yeah, it was, right.
not as pretty now.
I know. You know, that's an area that's hit every time because of the trees and, yep, it happens.
Comment on it.
Yes.
I got calls from that district down there, people who knew me saying, what's going on? We've been calling, can't get any information, can't get through. How are we going to fix this so people can get the latest information? What should I tell them?
We're probably within a year of the new outage management system, which will probably be able to answer about 100 calls automatically. So once that's implemented, we're doing the mapping now. So you've already approved the system, as I just got to work faster.
So I just tell them to hang on for another year.
It'll be before that. It's not another AMI.
No more than a year.
Well, you have one, at the most, 2 people answering the phone when you have an outage, and you have hundreds of calls coming in all at the same time, so it's just, I mean, it's impossible to answer them all.
And you know, in things like that, we don't even think rationally and realize that y'all are gonna know about it immediately,
Yeah, I mean, we know-
and
we
that
know
you're
anyway, so there's
you're
no
working
need to
hard.
call. I got a message on Judy's phone this morning, somebody, I can't even repeat what was said based on the outage last night because we wouldn't answer the phone. So,
And that was 1 a.m. in the morning, wasn't it?
probably.
Here, right, calling a secretary. Amazing. Administrative assistant. Okay. Anything else, Ryan? Cora, anything, dear?
Just that once Cersei Avenue is officially a one-way street, then I'll be even later to the meetings. Just so y'all know, that's why I was late today. I got stuck behind the train, had to use Cersei Avenue to get out, so just go ahead and put that on the record. I'll be even later, but I'll be here.
All righty. In other words, if you're not here by the time we start, we wait 10 minutes, you'll be here.
Mm-hmm. Because inevitably, the train comes every Tuesday at 5:55.
Right. I understand. I used to live on the other side of the railroad tracks. I want to tell you, and that train came in, we couldn't even get to church on time. So this was in Florence, South Carolina. Cynthia?
Nothing.
I don't have anything either. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right. All right.
I was not expecting
Please
to be here
stand.
this long.
I know
I
it.
know, right?